Today we're talking about LinkedIn and specifically how do you get clients on LinkedIn. I know a very, very cool secret that will it's really simple, but will totally transform your use of LinkedIn and you'll start getting clients right now.
So Nate, you have used LinkedIn strategically for many years. I'm curious to hear what you think about using LinkedIn messages to nurturing that audience and really getting prospective clients to pay attention.
So it's a very good question because messages like that are exactly how I use LinkedIn to market.
Okay.
And this wasn't staged. That was a legit question from you, and I appreciate that. Messages are so powerful, and there's a right way and definitely a wrong way to use messages. I tried this out by experiment.
Okay.
So, and let me kind of paint the picture because LinkedIn has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, how I would do this is actually in groups. It was very cool. You can still do this, but you can only send a couple messages. So when you're in a group, even if you don't have a first level connection to them,
Sure.
you can send a message to somebody who's like a second or third generation connection.
Okay.
In the past, I could send 125 of those a day.
Okay.
Okay. Now how we do this is because LinkedIn kind of put the limits on that, but you can send a connection request to somebody and say, hey, I want to be connected to you, or I want to be a friend with you, and you just send them a message that way. Okay, so here's what I found that is super valuable, and it might seem obvious. It should be obvious to me, but it wasn't. So first, I just sent a promotional message. I picked 100 people that were all influencers, and I sent them all a message telling them about my service. Hey, you should check me out. Guess how many responses I got out of the 100? 0? I did get one.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they became a client, but they replied.
Okay.
They replied to my message, and it was just one. So I thought, okay, well that's kind of a low percentage.
Sure.
I could probably get better than that. So I thought, well, what if I try and help them? A helpful message, that's better than a promotion, right?
Right.
So I sent out a message of, hey, I found this video that I thought you might find helpful. How many people do you think replied?
Oh, I don't know. 3 or 4? 5, 6?
Just one.
One?
Just
Still?
one. Yeah, so I thought, that was surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because it's helpful. It's like, hey, you're an influencer. I thought you could use this video to help you, be better at life. But I just got one response. So I really got to thinking about it, and I thought, let me try something new. What if I just compliment them? And that's it. So I sent out 100 messages of compliment, and this is what I mean, like really sincere, because I knew my audience. These 100 people were coaches or speakers. This is what I said then. This is what I say now. Hey, I looked at your profile, and you're really doing a lot of good things to impact the world for good. Keep up the good work. Like you're really changing lives.
Yeah.
And I appreciate people who run good business like this. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So that's it. Nothing about me. I'm not trying to help them, or it's not about me selling something. I just complimented them. On this test, guess how many replies I got?
30?
65.
Did you really? Now, how did you take the conversation from there?
So not only did I get 65 people who replied to me, some of them said thank you, but some of them said thank you, and you're doing a good job too. I looked at your profile, and I see that you're doing a lot of good things. In fact, I went to your website too, and I have a question about your video service. Years ago, when I went to college and school, I thought I wanted to be a dentist.
Okay.
And way down on my profile, it mentioned that I thought I
Sure.
wanted to be a dentist. Well, people would reply back and say, yeah, thank you. You look like you're doing some good things too. It's funny that you originally wanted to be a dentist. I'm just like, what?
So they're really reading your profile.
Yeah. So to answer your question of like, how do I take it to the next level? A lot of them asked if they could talk to me about my services. Or at that point, I typically would send them a custom video message. So maybe a selfie video, and I'd say, yeah, thanks for the reply. It's really great to connect with you on LinkedIn. I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit better and see if you wanted to have a chat. I help people with YouTube, and I don't know if you've thought about using YouTube in your strategy. So I would start to talk more, but the ice was broken. They responded to me and sending them a custom video. That's kind of my approach.
I love it. Well, and it's so great because you're building relationships, which is something that when we're building authority online, that's the core, right? And so you've built that relationship first, and then you've earned the right to mention your services to them. So it's kind of a roundabout way of doing things, but it obviously is more effective for you.
That's really a gem of advice, and this works on all platforms, but I've used it specifically on LinkedIn because it's a real professional environment, and LinkedIn is set up in a way that it's all about your business. So you give somebody a compliment like that, and then they come and they look at you professionally. They want to know what services you offer. So that's why it works so well on LinkedIn. But I suggest trying it, because if you go out and right now find 10 people that are your ideal avatar and just send them a message of compliment, and that's it. Just wait and see what happens. Just go do 10 right now and see what happens over the next 24 hours. So that's a challenge I give to you too.
All right.
Tonight.
10 people.
And then we'll report back tomorrow.
Okay. 10 compliments. I think we can do that. So when you're out building these messages up and making these connections, obviously you have to have a profile that's set up strategically because you know that people are going to go check you out, right?
Yeah.
So what pieces are you putting in there so that you really are putting your best foot forward?
Very good question. And it's so easy to do. You only have to do it one time, but it makes such a huge difference, is just to create a good profile. And what you don't want it to be is a resume. If you have a resume talking about I was at this job for this many years, I have this degree, this certification, and I was here, and I was here, and I was here, those are so boring. So the best thing that you can do on your profile on LinkedIn is to actually talk to them. Talk to your ideal avatar.
Okay.
So if you say something like, are you an expert or an influencer that wants to make a bigger impact in the world? You know, so you're talking to them, so when they hear that, they're like, yeah, that's me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
they can picture themselves in that scenario.
yeah, I mean, another thing that I might say, I probably need to update my LinkedIn profile, but I might say something like, you know, have you made 7 figures in your speaking business or your coaching business, but you feel like you've got so much more that you can impact the world, and you want to know if you can leverage YouTube to make an additional 7-figure revenue stream? I mean, that right there, what I just said, talks to exactly who I want.
Sure.
Right? So I can talk to them, and if that person comes and reads the profile, it's like, wow, he's talking right to me. Yeah, that's me. And they're going to want to reach out. So that's the best kind of quick summary version of a strategy I can say is take your profile, take the time, and even hire somebody to write it up for you and use that type of a strategy where you're talking to them and how you can benefit them in terms of them. Not like, because I'm not saying, hey, when I film with clients, I charge this amount and I film 20 episodes at a time and we do all the editing. And no. Those are features of me and my services, and I don't put any of that on LinkedIn. I talk about the benefits. They're going to build a tribe. They're going to build a following. They're going to impact the world in a bigger way. They're going to build 7 figures of revenue just from using YouTube, that type of thing.
That's great. I love it.
Me
and
too.
I love that you're helping them understand how they're going to impact the world because of just a simple little LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple thing, but it makes a big difference.
So if you do that to your profile, and then you go and send messages of compliment, they're like, oh, who is this Valerie person that said something so nice? I'm going to go check out Valerie's profile. Oh, this is how she can help me. I'm going to be a 7-figure earner. And
Sure.
yeah.
Great. So 10 compliments a week or a day.
Yeah.
Maybe a day, a week. How often do you do it?
Definitely. You know what? Start with 1 a day.
Okay.
Because that's what's realistic. When you start seeing the results drive action or drive more investment of time, right?
Sure.
So if in a week you send out 7 messages and you see that you got 2 clients out of it, you tell me how many messages are you going to send, right?
Sounds good. I love that. So Nate, there's a pretty fun secret on LinkedIn that I think we both know, but I'd love to hear you explain it because it's kind of one of your ninja secret tools that really doesn't require creating a ton of videos or writing a ton of blogs. What's your super secret tool?
This is very amazing on LinkedIn where it doesn't work on YouTube.
Okay.
So it's basically commenting on other people's content. And it kind of gets the same result as sending them a message of compliment. So go to your ideal client's profile and look at what they've posted.
Sure.
Or groups where they might hang out in different comments and just engage. This is not where you're going to pitch yourself. This is not where you're going to offer to help, but you're responding for real to their comment and giving them compliments and whatnot, because that gets their attention. They feel like, wow, somebody heard me. Who is Valerie? And that's when they'll go and look at your profile again. So LinkedIn is really a great place where professionals are hanging out. So if you're a B2B type business, this is great, because you can find your ideal clients there, and you can look at their posts and get them to notice you that way as well.
Wow, I love that, because then you're also staying top of mind. If you're doing that consistently to the right people, it's just as easy, and you're not having to necessarily create a ton of stuff from scratch.
Well, yeah, think about the comparison. So if you're making a new piece of content and you want this person to view it, and you want to stay top of mind, you're going to email them, but if you go to where they're at, and you just comment, you can stay top of mind every single day, and you're not being annoying. You're actually like, wow, Valerie likes my stuff.
You're feeding their ego.
Yeah. So it works really, really well to get people to then come and view your profile, and they might then go to your YouTube channel or to your website and fill out a form to schedule a strategy set. It kind of happens automatically.
Well, and it's great because you are getting back to the core of what social media is. It's all about socializing.
Mm-hmm.
And by engaging with them, you're increasing this opportunity for dialogue.
Your ideal client may not be, all of them might not be on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So the same strategy of commenting on their posts might work on Facebook or on Instagram. The advantage that LinkedIn has, though, is because it's tied to your professional business. They see your services. So if you do the same thing on Facebook, then they go and look at your Facebook profile. They typically don't go to your business page on Facebook. They go to your personal profile, and all they see is their personal stuff. So they don't know what you're selling or what you're offering or what your expertise is or how you help them.
Well, and I think when people are over on LinkedIn, they have more of a professional hat on at that time. They're looking through that lens. They're thinking professionally when they're there. When people are over on Facebook and Instagram, they're not always thinking with that same lens of, oh, this person could offer some real value to me on a professional level.
All right, so I'm curious what your thoughts are about LinkedIn. Here we are on YouTube. We're talking about the virtues of LinkedIn. How many of you actually use LinkedIn? Just put a yes or a no in the comments below. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.